What is the worst cheating story you have ever heard? Met my ex while on a trip to Asia. Yes, I've got a thing for the Asian girls, and we met through a mutual friend who lives here in Canada and had a great time. I met her in Malaysia, and it was love at first sight for me. This girl was fucking stunning. We three other girls were there also hung out for 2 days, and while nothing happened, there was a lot of flirting. That should have been my first red flag, as her flirting was more like teasing. I'm telling you, I would have bet anything that we were gonna hook up on those 2 days. But she was clearly not about to give it up. Frustrating to say the least. Anyways, I left pretty pissed that nothing happened between us. Let me stop right here and say that I would have been okay with that, if not for her constant, blatant flirting, and leading me on for 2 days. Like if nothing's gonna happen between us, then stop acting like that. To continue, I was back in Canada, and her and I started talking on MSN. That progressed into phone calls, cam shows, and professions of love for each other over the next 5 months. Then comes talking about her coming to see me in Canada. I didn't realize this, but to come from Malaysia to Canada you need a visa, and have to provide proof of employment, and so on to be allowed to visit. Wouldn't you know it, she doesn't work. Anyways, she pulls some strings over there and gets help from someone, probably a guy she's leading on, to falsify some documents for her, and she gets her visa to come see me for a month. She comes here, and it is magical. I'm just crazy about her. Her 1 month stay turns to 6 months, then a year. It was such a sweet story. We met for 2 days, half a world away from each other, and fall in love. All the while I'm so in love with her, and fully supporting her financially. She is getting a totally free ride here on me. Fast forward to about the 1 year 9 month mark. She's acting weird, and is all of a sudden very secretive with her phone. Password protected, hiding it, all that bullshit. This was going on for months. She ignores me when I confront her about it, brushing me off with some shit about having her phone protected if she loses it, etc. I fucking know what's up. One day, she was in the other room, and I take her phone and plug it into the computer. I can't access her stuff on there through the phone, because it's all password blocked. But you better believe I can look through the files on my computer. I opened one photo. It was all I needed to see. She's been cheating on me for months with this Chinese dude, leaving me to pick up the tab for her, and her still living with me, rent and worry-free. That's what she was doing when I was at work. I was crushed. I kicked her out of my house immediately, and she moved straight in with him. I just felt like a piece of shit, and very stupid. She's a good fucking scammer for sure. I was a mess. 2 months later I met a way more awesome girl, who lives here, and works, and is not a cunt, and we are still together. Also, a side note, my dad passed away early this year, and I was heartbroken again, and for whatever reason, I felt the need to contact this bitch, and let her know what happened. Obviously, in our almost 2 years together, she knew my dad very well. She told me she didn't care, and to go fuck myself. Class act all along. Almost imported a girl from Asia, who turned out to be a lying piece of shit who is only looking for a free ride. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for more content.